My car insurance have quoted me an annual price. However, if I decide to pay in installments, it will cost £70 extra over the year. Would this be identified as interest? I mean, where do you begin with car insurance? Car insurance, anyway, all types of insurance, life insurance, car insurance, house insurance, all of it is haram. Because all of it is maisir. All of it is gambling. So you pay a premium to insure something. The thing that you're insuring costs a lot more than the amount of insurance that you're paying. Otherwise, there's no benefit in it. The only benefit in insurance is that you pay a small amount. So if something goes wrong, then you get a large amount in return by these companies. Now, these insurance companies run on the same statistical probabilities as casinos. That's how they make their money. So just like gambling establishments such as casinos and bingos and so on, they make their money, and likewise the lottery and others, they make their money through the statistical probability and likelihood that they will never lose. So the house never loses. In casinos, the house never loses, whether it be in Vegas or Birmingham and Star City here or wherever these casinos are. They never lose money. That's why they keep going. It's the idiots who go there that lose money. All right? But they will never lose. Why? Because they have done the maths, which is statistical in essence and probability, that they will not lose if they do certain things. So the insurance companies work on the same premise, that they will not lose. So they've got so much hold upon society now that they have made insurance a legal requirement to drive a car in the UK. And they've made it a legal requirement upon public buildings, public liability insurance, whether it be schools, mosques, anywhere where the public gather, you need public liability insurance. Right, so they say, right, if something happens, we'll pay out up to 5 million. Your shop's worth about £10,000. But they say, if something happens, you give us £200 a year. If something happens, we can potentially give you a payout of 5 million. All right? So they say, well, all I have to do is give 200-300. Yeah, that's all. Likewise with your car. So your car's worth, what, 15,000, 20,000? You give them, let's say, £700-800, or well, if you live in Alamrock or Small Heath, and you're probably paying triple that amount. All right? But whatever you're paying, let's say 1,000, 2,000. And if something happens, we'll pay you out, even if it's your fault. Nothing to do with, the insurance company, whether it be Churchill or Lloyd's, well, Lloyd's are the underwriters. But anyway, these insurance companies, we will pay you for your accident, which was your fault. We'll pay out and replace your car. And we'll give you a replacement car to drive around whilst you get paid out or your car's getting fixed in the garage. This is gambling. If you do it with your life insurance, it is gambling. If you do it with your house insurance, it is gambling. So therefore, and likewise with health insurance, it is gambling. So health insurance is gambling. So health insurance is what? You go to one of these big health companies like Bupa or one of the other ones, and you give them, they say, well, all you have to do is give us 58 pence a day. And we'll cover you. For cancer, for breakage of bones, for whatever happens, we'll cover you. 58 pence per family member a day. I mean, that's what they used to say in the ads when I was a kid. I don't know what it is now. Right, but that's what they say. So now, you're giving this small amount. If something happens, they pay out and you get in return a large amount in return. Gambling. So therefore, it is prohibited and it is forbidden. If you are compelled, then, or that you have a need, like we do in this society, to drive, or necessitate to drive, then we have to take the insurance. So you take the least amount that you can take. So what is it in this country? Third party? All right, so third party only or third party fire and theft, whatever they call it. And then they have fully comp. And sometimes if you take the fully comprehensive, it's cheaper than the third party for some reason. Because they want you, for some reason, they want you to take the higher one. And they'll give you the same price. Anyway, that's some madness that they do. As for us, then they say, right, your yearly annual premium is £1,000. And you say, well, I can't afford the £1,000. They say, no problem, you can pay monthly. Say, okay, how much is a monthly? Well, if you pay monthly, by the time that you finish paying, we add, because it's a delayed payment, it's not 1,000, it's 1,150. So they add £150, for example. So if it is the insurance company that you're paying directly, there's no third party, there's no finance house, it doesn't go to a third party, and they say to you, right, we, inside our own insurance company, we will allow you to pay us directly the extra amount because you don't want to pay the discounted amount now. But if you're going to pay in a year from now, we're going to add £150. This is like a shopkeeper that you go to and you say, I want that fridge. He says, no problem, £500. You say, but I don't want it. I don't want to pay you now. I want to pay you in a year from now. He said, well, if you buy it now, it's 500. If you're going to buy it from me in a year from now, then I'm not going to give it to you for 500. I'm going to give it to you for 600. It's allowed for him to do that. Why? Because the sale is clear. The amount is clear. The item that you're buying, it is clear. There's no jahala. There's no ambiguity in that. I will pay you on the 1st of July next year, this amount, £600. If I take it off you now, I will give you 500. I prefer to pay you in a year from now. That is allowed. Bil ijma', as Sheikh Ibn Baz and a group of the Salaf, they said. So, as long as that shopkeeper is not sending you to a finance company. Because what happens when you go to a finance company? The finance company is going to give £500 to, well, the finance company is going to give you £600 for that fridge. All right, so you've got the 600 and you are now expected to pay it back. Who do you pay back? The finance company, because they're the ones who have given you the loan. Right? And they paid the 500 to whom? The shopkeeper. So now the shopkeeper gets his 500. You still owe how much? 600 to whom? Right. So in essence, what's happening is when you sign that finance contract, you are not signing it with the seller of the refrigerator. You are actually signing it with a third company, which is a finance company or a bank or something of that sort. So what they will do is pay him 500. So now you owe them 600. The extra 100 is what? Riba. Why? Because they've loaned £500 to you and they've paid on your behalf. Now you have to pay them 600. They want the extra 100. That's why you sign the contract not with your electrical store. You sign it with a finance company. Same with cars. Same with anything else. This is riba and haram. So the thing that you have to look at is, who wants the £70 extra? Who wants it? If it is the person who is selling you the insurance, which is what I've said it is, and you know that you cannot pay the £1,000, but they say, listen, you're going to pay us. It is no third party. You should ask them, who am I paying? If I pay that, I can't pay you now, I want to pay you in a year from now. Who am I paying? If they say, well, you're paying us. They say, there's no finance company. No, there's no finance. It is directly with us. Then it is allowed. Just like with the seller of the kitchen appliance, it's allowed if it is directly with him. Because he is selling you that fridge, you are not taking money from a third party that pay him, and therefore you owe them. Because now that's paying money for money, and that is haram. Because riba, you cannot pay. If someone gives you money, whether it be gold or silver or cash, and they say to you, here's 500, give me back 600. Here's £500. Can I take a loan? Yes. How much? £500. So I take £500. When shall I pay you back? Next July. How much? 600. That's increase in what? Cash upon cash, or gold upon gold, or silver upon silver. All of that is riba. All of that is riba. Barakallahu feekum. Clear? Let's call it a day, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khairan. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi